Let's experiment recording visually. Now, most of jaxing involves sound and getting inside your head. The problem with the visual is that it's not really possible to do because it's obvious when you're looking that I am outside your head. Okay, so the experiment would be something like, I'm recording now, okay? And I'm going to do an experiment, and I can see my image. Now, if I draw my attention, even though I'm continuing to look straight ahead to my headphones, I'm not looking at them. I've just changed from one eye to the other eye, and you can actually spot that. You can see that my eyes are moving, okay? That's because my focus with my eyes, the way they're pointed, is changing. Obviously there, here. Interestingly, I can actually see that happen. Okay, so this is kind of like a clue as to what's going to happen. If I look away, and you do this yourself, all right, and then you look, you can actually see yourself do that. Now, what's the difference between this and a mirror? Well, this has got a slower feedback loop because it has to be in through the camera, reproduced somehow or other on a screen. And because of that, there's a bit of a delay, which means that what I might be watching when I'm looking away and then I look back is I can see that delay. Now that delay is out there in reality, isn't it? Camera thing, right? This really makes sense only maybe on your second passing when you've actually done this experiment yourself. The trick is, in a mirror, obviously something's still happening there. It's going out, you know, the action, I was there, and then I look here, bouncing off the mirror and coming straight back. There is still a loop, it's just very, very fast. Would we be able to spot that? Now this is a kind of a clue. Now the clue is for what we're about to do, so take a guess, alright? Pause it or something or other. Perhaps you can take a guess, perhaps you can do this little experiment yourself. Right, so what you do, what I'm doing, what you do, is if I look from eye to eye, you can spot that, okay? But if I actually just keep on the same eye, so I'm not actually changing the focus of my eyes, and yet my attention goes to my lips, to my headphones, to my fingers and how they are arranged. I can just about get down there. Obviously I can see the button below this recording. There's a timer, I can see that change. Below that, we're talking about 6 inches down below my eye level on the screen. I can see the counter moving because of the microphone volume level. Now, that is where my attention goes. Have you noticed, and if you try this yourself, your attention is different from what you're focusing on. When you're focusing on something, that's kind of like your primary focus of these eyes, and they're looking at one thing. Okay. However, your attention can go other places. The problem is that when we've got visual stimulus in front of us, we usually look at what's in front of us. Okay, and therefore we can't let our attention go off into more abstract spaces than what is actually really just in front of us. And quite a lot of people spend a lot of time actually thinking about, not very much actually, but their attention is not on what is here right now. They're thinking about something, all right? So for example, their attention is on what's going to happen next week, what are they going to eat next? Or maybe, actually even worse, they're thinking about what happened in the past. Okay, so they're kind of thinking about the past and it's being a problem and this, that, and the next thing. I want to check, see if this is actually recording, because it could be that there's no volume whatsoever going through this, and this might not be recording, in which case I'm not very annoyed. So I'm going to have to check. So,